Seattle's a storied franchise, but the Steelers are like a truly storied franchise. Was there excitement from that standpoint, just knowing you going to like one of those ones?
Yes, sir, for sure. Like this organization, you walk in the building, they got 6 Lombardi trophies staring you in your face. And, with a legendary coach like Coach T, it's just the icing on the cake for me because, I get to play for an organization that's done it at a high clip for a long time. And plus a coach that's, done the same thing.
See, from afar, I feel like people would like Coach Tomlin to be their coach in every walk of life, right? Like as a fan, I watch Coach Tomlin and I'm like, man, I want that man to motivate me. Have you felt that like instantly in being around him?
For sure. Like the quotes that he has, in every team meeting, I'm writing some down new that he's, came up with or a quote that he says. And it's always motivating when you got somebody up there that's motivating you, not only to be a better football player, but, a better person in life. So I think, that's the plus of having him as a head coach.
Is there like a certain message just directly to you, being that you're coming new into the system, that he gave you that really resonated?
No, sir. I think just the way that they treated me throughout this whole process and, from my first weeks, first coming into Pittsburgh, up until now, they've always let me be me. And I think that's the biggest thing that, speaks volumes of their character and how they treat their players. Cause everybody, can be themselves, but they make sure they get the best out of you for sure.
And what differences with him and like a Coach Carroll, who's also like a historic coach, have you noticed?
Yes, sir. I don't think there's many differences because there's many ways to skin a cat. Excuse me, and they know how to get the best out of their players. Speaking that both of them have won a Super Bowl and both of them come from a winning lineage.
Yeah, and you're obviously stepping into a situation where there's another legend on the field with you aside from Coach Tomlin. Did you have a relationship with Aaron over the last few years being in the league at all?
No, sir. Just in passing, I've always had a great respect for him, even though he's already whooped me twice in Green Bay. I've always had respect for him just by the way he carries himself. He really don't care what people think about him. He's going to be, himself day in and day out. So I respect that about him. But, aside from that, he's a great quarterback and a great, teacher of the game of football.
Is it crazy, though, like to think like 15 years ago, you were watching him on television. This was Aaron Rodgers, and now that's your quarterback?
He played against my pop, so I know he's been in the league a minute.
Damn. Yeah. I'm sure you've told him that over and over again, right? Tried to age him up.
No, he already know he old. He see the grades on his face, man. He know he old, but he don't act like it.
And what about watching him in practice, the way he throws the ball? Like, obviously, like he's like the prototypical gunslinger. Like, how beautiful is watching him, like, throw that football around the field?
No, it's crazy because, he'll be rolling to the right, be looking in the middle of the field and hit the flat. Like, it's accurate almost every time. So I think it's just crazy how much he studies, how much he knows the game, where the ball is supposed to be going, what the defense is doing. That's why I just be in amazement, at practice when he checks something, and then it's like wide open. So, and he knows what the defense is doing before they even do it. So I think it's just great just having him as a quarterback, not only from, his physical attributes, but, the mental part of the game I can learn as well.
Yeah, and I feel like obviously he's older, but like I watched it with Kevin. Like it does take like a good year and a half when you come back from an Achilles. And, obviously I was in New York. I'm a Giant fan, but I was in New York watching him with the Jets. And, last year is that year, especially at his age, when you coming back from an injury like that, like you really need reps and you need time. Do you see like an extra bounce this kind of off season and coming into the season?
I think coming here was like a breath of fresh air for him because he's flying around the field. He's running around, joking in the huddle. I think my boy just loved football again. And I think that's the positive about, a change of scenery. It can get you loving the game to where you was back in Pee Wee or middle school or high school to where, you can go out there and get you all every play no matter what's going on.
Is learning a new playbook, like I always feel like learning a new playbook must be so incredibly like difficult. Obviously, this is what you guys do for a living. But, they talk about when you have like a complex system, sometimes it's harder. Like you hear about them talking about what Caleb was going through in Chicago and having to learn Ben Johnson's system. But like, is that process difficult, or do you just know the game so well that you can pick this up?
I think I can only speak from my perspective and how I look at football. Football is football, and it's been the same game since I started playing. Every route has been the same. It's just got a different terminology, and so I think it's just retraining your brain to that terminology. But I think I've been running the same route since I was in high school, middle school.
So it's not as complicated as they make it seem sometimes, for you at least.
I mean, yeah, for me, I can't speak for everybody else because, being a quarterback in a new offensive system, you got to learn everybody else's job over again. So I think it's very difficult for a quarterback. But, from my perspective, being a receiver, it is not that difficult.
Your playing style, like you're obviously very physical. Have you ever felt like there was a reason to think about changing your game? I would imagine no way. The answer is no. But like, that's who you are, right? Like the physicality of your game is what you're riding with no matter what.
For sure. I think if I wasn't so stubborn, there would be a chance. But I'm so stubborn and set in my ways to where it'll be hard to do that. Plus, my dad raised me like this since I was 12. So it's very difficult at this point.
So when you say stubborn, were there coaches that tried to push you in a different direction?
I wouldn't say push me in a different direction, but like certain techniques. I know myself. I've been myself for X amount of years, and I've been playing the same position just as long. So I study football, I study receiver play, and I also study myself so much to where can't nobody tell me what I can and can't do. Like Mike T always says this: you give a capable man information and let him do the rest. So just let me know what the play is, how deep my route is, or where I need to be, and I'll do the rest.
So what other receivers in the league like motivate you or inspire you, or just you enjoy watching?
I enjoy watching all receivers, but nobody, motivate me but my family and, trying to be the best. That's it.
No, but so when you see certain rankings that come out or you see receivers that get certain attention, none of that bothers you? You don't get motivated or kind of, focused in on trying to prove some of that wrong?
Nah, bro, I can't be focused on trying to prove nobody wrong. I know who I am as a person, as a man, as a football player. And my mom told me I was great a long time ago. My dad did the same thing. So those two people, that's the only opinion that matter to me. I'm gonna continue to just show my ass when I get on the field, try to be open, and try to, take a man's wheel every time it's a run play. But other than that, I just love football and, love playing this game. I can't, decide or point out where the ball is supposed to go every play, or, I can't put myself as the best receiver, because I already believe that in myself. So, let other people think what they want to think. But I'm gonna just continue to do me.
No, that's a good perspective because obviously, there are other athletes from professional sports get caught up in NFL 100s or all these stupid preseason rankings. And I think your perspective is spot on. It is just noise, but there are people that really do get caught up in that stuff.
Yeah, I can't let that motivate me because I was just talking to a receiver, on the Steelers about this yesterday. He was like, man, I just can't wait to prove the people wrong. And I told him, once they start, patting you on your back and kissing your ass, and the congratulations is louder than, the noise that you was hearing at first. The people going to stop being your motivation. So you're going to stop working as hard. I don't let the people be my motivation or, let them, dictate how hard I worked in the off season. I'm always going there and bust my ass and let the results be the results.
Yep.
Hey, yes, sir.
No, I feel that, man. Who's a cornerback throughout your career that's given you the toughest challenge at times?
I would say Jalen. Just going against him as much as I did early on in my career, and we were both in the same division, so we had to see each other twice a year. I think, going against him really, sharpened my belt as a receiver, but I also gave him headaches as well.
And what about I'm sure you're a student of the game. Throughout your time as a fan, coming up in high school, college, playing in the league, who would you kind of say are the 5 receivers you would put on your Mount Rushmore? Because I always get asked myself, and, obviously Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, I think T.O. obviously slept on, should be in there. A.B. in his prime was as good as anybody ever. But what about you? There's obviously great ones in the league now. So putting yourself aside, obviously, who are 5 that like always stand out to you?
I'm gonna start with AB, Julio, Calvin.
Oh,
Calvin.
Calvin. I mean, sacrilegious. I didn't even say Megatron, man. I apologize.
Randy Moss, and I will put in there AJ.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe I forgot Megatron, bro. God damn.
He ain't number 6'4", 230, 40 pounds. Hard to miss him.
And there was, I mean, I would, maybe I'm bugging, but I would say there's similarities in the physicality of the two of your games too.
Yes, sir. I've gotten that quite a bit, especially coming out of college. They were trying to, compare both of us, but that is a different monster. And especially talking to Slay, who got to face him early on in his career practice. The stories he would tell me about him were crazy.
When you look at the AFC, obviously, like every team goes into the season believing they got a chance. And I would imagine a Mike Tomlin coach team in Pittsburgh is only thinking one thing. There's no other mindset but championship. But I assume that's the same goal for you. And there's no team that you look at and think that you guys can't play with on any Sunday.
Oh, yes, sir, for sure. I mean, it's difficult not to go into a season with a lot of confidence and, looking at your schedule, thinking you're not going to go 17-0.